So today we'll talk about yin earth, which my teacher likes to call the cookie baking mama. This is your third video in the Elemental Blueprint series, and I am Jack Maloney, the energy alchemist. So yin earth is the mother energy. It is divine feminine. It's considered the nurturer, and as I mentioned, the cookie baking mama. As you can imagine, having the mother energy, there is a huge theme around family and food and home specifically. You know, the mother takes care of the family and takes care of home. Earth people in general are going to be really focused around family and home, but yin earth, this is like their thing. This is what drives them more than anything else in the world, because the mom takes care of the family and home. And because of that, you know, the cookie baking mama, they're always making sure that their people are fed, and whether that's coworkers or friends or, you know, your actual family, they will try to feed you. This is what they do. The yin earth energy is the ultimate divine feminine, and their place in the world comes from giving unconditional love, service, compassion. They live to take care of other people, and there's a sweetness to them. You know, they're super affectionate, they're sweet, they're loving, they're caring. They're some of the best and most loyal friends to have, being earth. They're really stable, you know, they're good rocks to have in your life. But they're the type of people who will come over and cook for you and clean your house when you're sick, because they love you and that's just what they're going to do. Yin earth, they do, because they take care of the home, they do like to clean, and they can be a little fussy about it. You know, mom likes things the way she likes things, and that's just how it is. So there is a focus on the home and taking care of the home and the people inside of it. You'll often hear yin earth people say, why do I always have to do this? You know, they kind of take a lot of responsibility on themselves, and you know, that's just how they are. It's the mom with 4 or 5 kids that's driving everybody to school and hockey practice and soccer and making all the lunches, and they just do everything. That's naturally what they do. And a way to keep them from feeling resentful about that is to feel appreciated. A yin earth person will love you till the end of time, as long as they're appreciated, and they will not even complain about it. It's what they do. And if they feel appreciated, they will just love you that much harder. They're meant to be in partnership. The mother was never meant to raise the family by herself. So there is a focus on partnership for a yin earth person, especially for women. You know, the men, it's different with men, and I'll get into that in a second, but with women, they're always hyper focused on getting married and having a family. Like, this is who they are. They're supposed to be the mother, so they feel kind of incomplete without having that partner. And because of that, if it's out of balance, they can lean towards codependent behavior and get into some toxic relationships. So being a yin earth person, having self-care and learning how not to give your power away and not to think about everybody else, but, you know, everybody else first. You know, they really need to focus on, what do I need? Yes, okay, the kids need all this stuff before they go to school, but what do I need so that I can continue to give the way that I want to give? So it's really about filling yourself up before giving away everything to everyone else. Now, because this is yin earth and divine feminine energy, it is an incredibly difficult energy for men to hold. Men in our society are not really, we shame them for being affectionate, for being loving, for being compassionate, for being nurturing. It's not, you know, little boys that show the yin earth qualities, we often tell them to man up. So what happens with a yin earth man is they might overcompensate with really macho and bravado energy. If anybody does like the beach body stuff, the Body Beast program, the guy that runs that, he's like super muscular and like hyper alpha male. He's yin earth. I looked him up. It's fun. So they can totally compensate by being as manly as possible because they don't know how to really own that divine feminine energy and keep their masculine identity. So men that are balanced in this energy are incredible husbands and fathers, and they take really, really good care of you. I have a couple dear friends that are yin earth, and they're incredible nurturers, but there's no doubt that they're masculine. They're just harnessing it really well. And in addition to the macho bravado thing that they can do, if they're not balanced, they can become womanizers, they can become cheaters. They swing to that opposite end of the spectrum and they don't really know how to handle it. So that's just an interesting tidbit for the yin earth men. Now, as far as the energy of the year, yin earth people are currently in a yang metal year. So metal is the season of autumn. It's about harvest time and reaping the rewards of all of your hard work. So the past 3 years were probably really, really busy for you as a yin earth person. And this is the year of slowing down. Taking stock of what you've done so far and kind of harvesting the rewards of everything that you've accomplished over the past few years. So this isn't an energy of pushing. You may have already noticed that you've got a bit more of an introverted sense to your energy. There's not as much outward movement. And if we think of autumn, leaves are falling off the trees and things are starting to shift into winter. So that's the type of energy that you need to be mindful of in a yang metal year. But the cool thing about this is yin earth has a tendency to be kind of doubtful and insecure at times, but the energy of yang metal is that of the emperor. So there's a authority that comes with being in a yang metal year, and people will treat you as such. The emperor doesn't have to yell and scream. The emperor clears his throat and everybody listens. So this is a great year to kind of pull your power back and not push and shout and yell, but have people respect you for who you are and what you do. So to really harness the energy of this yang metal year, be mindful of your energy, create daily rituals and alone time to really support your energy during this process, and focus on what's purposeful and what's meaningful. So after the past 3 years, it's been really, really busy. You want to look at the big vision. Okay, where do I see this going? Whether it's business or personal life, it's a great time to look at the long-term plan and see, what's working and what isn't working. It's also a really good time for communication-focused work. The Emperor energy and metal in general are fantastic communicators. So if you want to do any type of public speaking, or anything where you really want to get the word out to people, this is a great time to do it. Your communication skills will be on point. It's also a good time for refinement and paring down. Metal in general, they don't like clutter. They don't like things overdone. They like streamlined and, clear-cut processes. So it's a nice energy for Earth to be in, because Earth can be a little more, they're attached to their stuff. And Earth people tend to have a little more clutter and a little more just stuff in their lives. Earth people like stuff. They're of the Earth. So it's a nice way to get balance in that way. And then metal is the most sensitive to energy kinesthetically. So they feel things. When you move into the metal years, because right after this, yin metal will follow, your intuition tends to open up, your sensitivity tends to open up. You might be more sensitive to perfumes or synthetic stuff. Your allergies might pop up. Clothes that you've worn forever might start to feel uncomfortable. Metal is very, very aware of how things make them feel in their environment. So you'll be tuned into that energy this year and next year. And it also will force you to pay attention to any sacred work. So it's a good time to look into starting a sacred practice, to getting energy work done, and really enhancing your spiritual connection with the help of another person. So whether it's Reiki or, learning styles of meditation, those would be really supportive for you in this year. And then on the flip side, in a metal year, what you want to stay away from is borrowing or lending money. Metal has an interesting relationship with money, and when there's a feeling of not enoughness, it can kind of collapse on itself. So this is the year of harvest. So it's gathering, not borrowing and lending. Metal can also be it can cause perfectionism and rigidity. So don't let yourself get caught up in the details this year. Just try to look at the big picture. Big picture is super helpful in metal energy. And don't change your focus. Look at long term, more paring down what you've already done versus making any big changes. And the Emperor can sometimes be a little arrogant. So pay attention to any tendencies of walking around like you know better or discounting other people's advice. The Emperor usually has a council. There's other people that tell them what's good ideas and what isn't. So just don't discount other people's advice. Don't be so quick to judge other people, and stay away from that arrogancy or belittling type of energy. And again, don't push. Allow people to recognize your expertise. In metal years, people are going to gravitate what you have and find and see you as the authority that you've been working towards. And this can be either in business or personal. But the past 3 years have been super busy about like creating a name for yourself and making things work. And in the yang metal year, you can just kind of kick back and go, okay, and just kind of put out some information, and people will naturally gravitate towards it. So, yin earth people, enjoy your yang metal year. This is the year to learn how to say no and not feel bad about it. And when you feel like you shouldn't, more self-care. More self-care. Don't listen to the voice in your head that says that you shouldn't do this, or that tries to guilt you or shame you into anything. That's whenever you feel guilt and shame, it's a pretty good indication that it's not helpful, So let me know if you have any questions. Leave a comment, send me an email. I would love to know how this resonates for you. And if you have anything in particular you would like advice on, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the year of the Emperor, my cookie bacon mama friends. Oh, and I keep forgetting the celebrities for some reason. Or maybe I did talk about them. Oprah and the Dalai Lama are great examples of yin earth and how they show up. And it's not really for the fame. They really just want to take care of people, and that's what they do, and they do it well. And on the flip side, a fantastic representation of this energy perverted in a man is Chris Brown. Chris Brown, who is known for, having restraining orders and being abusive and just causing all kinds of problems. He's a yin earth. So that's what it looks like when it is not in balance. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next video talking about yang wood in a yin metal year.